So now that Invincible Season 2 has wrapped up, let me give you my full review of the season. So to summarize everything in just, if I had to summarize this whole season in one sentence, this is by far my favorite season of Invincible so far. I really loved how a lot of this season focused more on what I wanted to see, which was the Viltrumite War, and how Mark and Nolan are going to have to try to stop the Viltrumites. And this season, especially like the later half of it, like from episodes 5 to 8, did not disappoint in the slightest. I loved how every single one of those episodes focused on the Viltrumite War and showing us that even though that the Viltrumites there are very few of them left, there's only 40 of them left, or 50 of them left, like they are still a force to be reckoned with. And Thrag, Jesus Christ, he is insanely powerful. He completely kicked the asses of Nolan and Mark, and he literally tore freaking Oliver's hand off. So it's gonna be really interesting to see how Thrag is defeated, even if he is stoppable without the use of the Scourge virus. Again, this is coming from a guy who has never read the Invincible comics. I'm going into this show completely blind, so I really don't know what's going to happen next now that the Viltrumites are living on Earth and in hiding, so it's going to be really interesting. Now, to kind of talk about each of the characters individually, Mark, like, you just got to feel bad for Mark, because ever since he got his powers, Mark has not really had a real chance to be happy, and especially it's shown really through this season where he is just depressed for a majority of it. He's just utterly depressed and utterly sad through everything that happened with the Invincible War, with Angstrom Levy, with everything that's been going on. And I think it's just really, I just feel really bad for him at this point, because he can't really get a sense of like 1 second of happiness, and especially now that he knows that the Viltrumites are on Earth and he made a deal with Thrag, it's going to be very interesting to see how Mark is going to handle this next season. If he talks to Cecil, if he talks to anyone about this, especially Eve, if he talks to Eve about this. And it's also going to be interesting to see how he's going to handle this now that he is now basically suffering from PTSD after fighting Thrag and killing Conquest. I think it's just really interesting as a whole. Now, moving on to Nolan, he was really good this season. I absolutely loved episode 2 where him and Alan were working together to try to find every single thing possible that could kill the Viltrumites. And I also really loved how we got to see why the Viltrumites were down to 50 people. And it's so, like, in a way you kind of feel bad for Nolan's people, but you know that they have done such horrible things to the universe. And you understand why Thetis wants to kill his people, because he understands that him and Nolan understand that the Viltrumites will always be a threat to the universe, and seeing how Nolan was willing to destroy his home planet, I think was just such an interesting thing. And overall, I just really loved Nolan's arc throughout this whole season, seeing how him coming to Earth and him meeting with Debbie, Art, Cecil, just him trying to do better and trying to apologize for everything that happened. I think it's just really interesting. And now that him and Deb are going to be on the ship, heading back to the Coalition's planet, Telestria. I don't know why I keep on forgetting the name of the planet. Since they're going to be going back to Telestria, it's going to be interesting to see how their dynamic works. If do I see a world where Nolan and Debbie get back together? I do. If you read the comics, don't spoil it for me. I don't want to find out. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. And overall, this season was just really cool. Now, the fight scenes were incredible. Again, everything about the Viltrumite arc, the Viltrumite War arc in this season was just really done well. All the stuff that was done on Earth from episodes 1 to 4, I think they were okay. Seeing the Guardians and the new leader Britt was interesting. Not seeing Immortal or Duplicate in this season was beautiful. I like Immortal and Duplicate. I'm glad that they're gone. There was really no purpose for them this season, and I'm glad that they're gone. Seeing Rex, aka Robot, like try to be like the center, like not the centerpiece, but him trying to be the new, try to become the new leader of the Guardians, while Britt is kind of the leader of it. I think it was just really interesting. I have no idea if we're going to see Robot or Monster Girl again, because they're stuck on that other planet with the aliens that they fought in episode 3. So I really have no idea what's going to happen after that, what's going to happen to them, if we're going to see that, if they're still alive, if we're going to see them again. I also really like, And I know that a lot of people didn't really like the episode, but I really loved the episode where Mark and Damien Darkblood work together to go to hell and stop, like help Satan and all that stuff. I thought that episode was really, really interesting, and I really loved the switch of how like Satan is really seen in different sorts of media, and I really like how Satan's kind of more like an anti-hero in this world, and I think that's just really, really interesting. Now, overall, to my final thoughts of this season as a whole, I really enjoyed it. Like I said at the start, this was my favorite season as a whole. The dynamics between Mark and Nolan, Eve's little storyline with her being pregnant, I feel like could have been expanded on a little bit more, but it was cool. I was really thrown off with William's new voice actor. So I don't know how the hell why they recasted William, but it was all right. I am confused why they didn't include Amber. I'm not the biggest fan of Amber, but I am shocked that she wasn't included in this season, especially when it came to stuff when Eve told William that she was pregnant. And that whole scene between Eve and Mark when Eve revealed that she was pregnant, I think, where she had an abortion, I think was really, really heartfelt. And the voice acting for this season was just beautiful as a whole. Like Steven Yeun, Sandra Oh, everyone else in this whole show, they just really did well. Lee Pace as Thrag was just so formidable and so threatening. Thrag is a beast. He's got to be one of the most powerful villains I've ever seen in superhero media as a whole, and that's saying something. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this whole show continues. And assuming this goes on for maybe because we know that season 5 is coming out next year. I don't know if season 5 will be the final season, but with how this season ends, I generally would not be shocked if season 5 is going to be the final season of Invincible. I don't think it will, but I wouldn't be shocked if we get the announcement that it will be the final season. So let me know down in the comments what you thought of this season. On the screen, right now, you can see my overall ranking of Invincible season 4, and if anything, I'll also put my rankings of all 4 seasons as well. Let me know down in the comments what was your favorite part of Invincible season 4. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Josh from Rage Reviews, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.